In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the thermostat on this BMW 550i. It's going to be located on the front side of the engine. Let's get into it. In the trunk, we're just going to pull this spare tire cover up. We can access the battery under here. There's a push pin right here. This one just twists out. There may be another one on the side here. This vehicle doesn't have it. You just want to pop those out with a trim tool and just grab this cover and it just twists out. Now we're going to disconnect the battery. Use a 10mm wrench, loosen up the negative terminal. Take that off, slide that out of the way. We're going to remove this cover, use a 10mm socket. There's 4 nuts on top. Take those out. Grab the cover, slide it up, out of the way. Loosen up this worm clamp. Just use a straight blade screwdriver. That's good. Using a straight blade screwdriver, loosen up the worm clamp here on the throttle body. Oops. Then just grab the snorkel, slide it off, and it comes right out. Remove this lower panel. Use a Phillips head screwdriver. Just loosen these screws up. They're going to stay with the panel. Should be another one there. Just twist it a few turns. And grab the panel, slide it back. You want to drain the coolant system. On the base of the radiator, there is a drain. This vehicle, the part to twist is broken, so we're not going to be able to do that, but you want to twist that and make sure you have a drain bucket underneath and drain the coolant out. I'm just going to take the coolant reservoir cap off. It's going to help it drain better. You can see the thermostat housing down here. We're just going to disconnect the connector, push on the tab, slide that up, out of the way. Now we want to take the lower radiator hose off. Take a pick. Just pull up on this little lock. You can take that out completely if you want, and then slide it off. You're probably going to have some coolant, so have a drain bucket underneath, just so it drips into the drain bucket. Even if you drained it earlier, there's still going to be a little residual. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to take these bolts out. Take those out. Pull that one out. And there's one more underneath. And then when you take this off, you're going to have some more coolant come out. So have your drain bucket underneath. And slide that out. Now we're just going to clean up the surface area. Just take a rag, some brake parts cleaner, just make sure there's no gasket material on there. And line this up. Only goes on one way. And take the bolts. Get the bolts started. All right, those are all started. And we'll tighten those down. And torque these to 84 inch-pounds. There we go. Now take the hose, push the clip back down, get that lined up. You can put a little coolant on the O-ring or some O-ring lubrication, some silicone. Clip that in place. Take the connector, line that up, lock that down. Put this panel up. Get it lined up. And take a Phillips head screwdriver. And get the screws started. There we go. That's good. And the rest of the panel. There you go. Take the snorkel, get this lined up. Slide it over the airbox and over the throttle body. Tighten down the worm clamps. And just snug it up. Same on this one. That's good. Take the cover, line the cover up on the studs, put the nuts on, and tighten these down. Now you want to fill the coolant system with the appropriate coolant until you get to this max line. There's a level in here, so fill that up to max. When that's at max, we're going to start the engine with the cap off. Let the engine run for about 1 minute. You may notice that the coolant goes down. After a minute, you want to top it off so that that's back at the max line. While the engine's still running, put the cap on. Then you want to run the engine until it gets to operating temperature, making sure the engine doesn't overheat. After that, we're going to shut the vehicle down, let it cool completely, make sure it's nice and cold because you don't want any pressure in here, and then you're going to double check the level. Take the cap off, make sure there's no pressure. And then you're going to adjust the level again so that it is at the max level. You can see the little keyway on the side. So that should float like that to max. And then you're good to go. And take the negative terminal, attach it to the battery. And then we'll tighten this down. And that's snug. Give it a wiggle, make sure it's tight. That's good. Take this cover. Position it in place. The push pin, slide that in place. If you had another one there, you want to push that in. And take this cover and let it down. Now that you're all back together, you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.